Hi, this is Carolyn with Carolyn's Paper Therapy. I'm back for my next tutorial in the Simple Things journal that we started a few weeks back. I've had almost a couple of weeks, I think, off because of visiting my daughter and hot weather and trying to keep all the flowers watered and weeded and different things. So I was getting a little behind. So I decided this time I have 5 pages laid out, and rather than just show you the pages finished and then the tutorial on the simple things, super simples, number 3, I think. Yeah, number 3, that I would just do the 5 pages and assemble them for you today, and then I'll come back and do the 3rd super simples page in another video. So just quickly, I'll thumb through the pages that we've done so far. I entitled the journal The Simple Things because I was focusing on the Super Simples 1 through 7 by Pink Monarch Prints. And in between those pages, I'm just developing my own page layouts. The cover we did in the very first video, and then we started on the simple things. And the first simple thing that I identified was music, and I did these few pages. The pages in between the Super Simples page, which was designed by Pink Monarch Prints, I'm trying to do just pages that can be written on, so that this can be a really nice writing journal. Let me see. Get myself straight here. So the first simple thing that I identified was music. And these are the pages that I created and then went through them with you. This page here was Super Simples number 2. This was Super Simples number 1. This is Super Simples number 2, which consists of several pockets and a side pocket. These were done in the second video. Now we're going to work on the 3rd section, and I decided in this section to show you a little bit about how I would do the pages if I were doing an altered book, which kind of reduces the volume in the book because there's so many pages. So this page will be covered completely. This page was a full page that I folded in half and then cut this off. This will make a pocket up against the next page. So that's 2 pages combined into 1. This side will be a full page, and this side I took the next page, folded it down to make a slanted pocket, and it will be glued down to make a pocket. And then we will do this page in full. So let's get started on the page on the back side of Super Simples number 2. And what I laid out for that page was this right here. And I'll tell you sort of where I got the things, but these are just items out of my stash of papers. At the beginning of this project, I just pulled out a lot of papers and ephemera that I had and sayings that I had and started to use them on the pages. So this first page will be a combination of items that I'll describe to you. For the background on the page, I chose, this is just some paper that I had left over from another project. The coloring is beautiful, and I've kind of gone with this color theme through this section of the journal. And I will reveal to you what the simple thing number 2 is on this page here. So the first thing we're going to do is glue this down. And I use my trusty little catalog here to lay the paper down on to put this glue stick. I use the Scotch permanent glue stick. Whenever I'm gluing down something that's just plain paperweight, I usually use the glue stick. Okay. The trick is to get it in there straight. I'm going to try again. I need to go with this side. Okay, there we go. Okay. The next thing that will go on this page will be this item here, and this was just a piece of cardstock that I had left from another project, and I just folded it over and inked it, and what I plan to do with it is make a flip out so that it can be written on inside here. So this will get glued down to make this flip out. I think one of the things that happens when you're trying to just create journal pages of your own without a guideline is that you have a tendency to try to use everything you ever had on that page, all your different tools and stamps and trims and ephemera, but it's best to keep it simple as you go through creating the journal, and then you can always go back and add in some more embellishments, which I do sometimes, and when I do that, I share that with you when I do the flip through. What I decided to do on here was I'm going to use this beautiful lady up here, and this section is entitled Peace and Quiet. I think that peace and quiet is a simple thing for sure. It doesn't cost anything. You don't have to do anything. You just sit back and take in your world in a peaceful manner. You can put your problems aside. You can turn off the music. You can just relax, maybe even take a nap. So peace and quiet to me is a beautiful thing. And so I've kind of focused on beauty and relaxing things in this section. So first I want to glue down the words peace and quiet, and all I did was use the back side of some paper that I printed and cut off that had just a very beige neutral background, rounded the edges, and stamped with my little these little blocks in the brown ink that we use, the vintage photograph ink that we use to ink the edges of our items. So I'm going to glue down Peace and Quiet, which is the title of this section. And then I'm going to glue down my lady with the hat. I'll use my glue stick for that. There she is. She's probably sitting in the garden with a cup of tea, listening to the birds sing. That would be a nice peace and quiet time. I'm going to add these flowers. These are just little ribbon roses that I got at Michael's. Here. Oh, sorry for the delay. My dog has fetched something off of the bed, a piece of paper, and he's eating it right now. So if I take my eyes off of him, sometimes he gets a piece of paper and starts chewing it up, but that's okay. He's not hurting anything. Okay, then this is from my saying box. It says, happiness is a butterfly, which when pursued is always just beyond your grasp, but which if you sit down quietly may light upon you. I thought that was appropriate for our peace and quiet section. If you look on Etsy at the digital files and look for files with sayings, you can download a lot of really nice files that you can print out over and over and use the sayings, or you can use rubber stamps or cut things out of magazines, wherever you can get your sayings. And I'm going to just add a little piece of trim on here just to make this delicate. Fold out here. Okay. And the next thing, I had just a little piece of book page that I wanted to glue in here. And this is a flower that I cut out using a die cut. I've showed you those in previous videos. It's fun just to have a stash of these so that you can kind of decorate your pages up with some stems of flowers. My dog Biscuit's being a pain, but that's okay. I think he got one of my sayings, and if he did, I'll have to find another one. That's crazy. Okay, here's this page done. The next page is this right here. And I have chosen some paper from a paper pad that I have to put on this page behind the pocket. And then this page I cut and it will fold over and go on the pocket itself. So the next thing we'll do is glue those down. and smooth it out so that it's attached to the page really good. Now this, I told you I had folded this page in half, and then I opened it back up and cut off just to get rid of some of the bulk. So I'm going to glue this flap down first. Onto itself. Then I have folded this over already, and it will glue right on here like this. So I'm going to take it over here and put my glue stick glue on it. So that goes on there just like this. And then the next thing we're going to do is just glue these two sides down to make this pocket. So we've taken 2 pages of my journal, blank travel journal book, and made them into 1 page with a pocket. Okay, let's see what we have next. Okay, now to go on this pocket, I've just used a piece of a book page, ripped and inked, and then this piece will go, this piece here will go on first. And this piece will go right here. All we're doing is decorating this pocket. Then I chose these words: friends are life's beautiful treasure. Time spent with a good friend can bring you lots of peace and joy. And so I think friends are another simple thing, especially those friends that don't expect anything from you. They just love you. So this is some flowers that I actually did on my Cricut, but you could use flowers from a die cut, which is about the same thing. And I'm just using those to decorate this page. And this really fine glue tip on this Barely Art glue is wonderful for items like this, because you don't have a lot of glue that comes out around the edges. And I'm going to put this one down here at the very bottom. Okay. Now, this paper here is just some cardstock that I had left over from a project. It happened to be printed on the front and the back, which will be a great journal card. And I used a corner punch that I have that has 3 different lace corners, and you just select which one you want and put your paper in there and punch your corners. And so I have used a decorative punch for the corners of this to slide in this pocket. This is something I made previously on another project, just trying to make some ephemera to go in my journals, and it matched this. So all this is a little piece of cardstock that's been folded over to kind of look like an envelope, only it opens totally up to write on, and all I did was put some lace trim on the edge. So those 2 things are what goes in that pocket. And that's all that I've done for that page. So we're ready for this one. And this one, I kind of, I had some papers in a pad of papers that I got at Joann's, I think. And it had this bicycle on it. And I think a bicycle ride is a simple pleasure, and it fits in with our peace and quiet and calm section. So I just ripped it so that it only showed the bicycle, and then we have our journaling space up here. So I'll glue that on there. I think we all have so much noise in our lives. We are busy, the phones are ringing, children are wanting something from us, our pets are eating paper in the room behind us to aggravate us. All sorts of things that make for noise in our lives. And so if anytime you can find a way to find a little peace and calm, it will renew your spirit and give you the strength to keep doing the things that you do in your busy life. And on this, I just had a little piece of lace left that I wanted to put up here in the corner. I save all the little pieces of everything, and then it can be used to decorate an item. This is a little piece of silk, recycled silk ribbon, and I just tied it in a knot to put on here. And then I chose the word flowers, because as you take your bicycle ride, you're going to notice lots of beautiful flowers, which are God's gifts to us, and it's good to take the time to smell the roses, as they say. You can't do that unless you find a moment for peace and quiet. So that's that page. Now the next page is an angle pocket made from one page, and it goes onto the second page. So we'll make one page out of 2 again. This just kind of decreases the bulk in the journal. And most everything that I'm using on these pages are regular paper weight, so that they don't add too much bulk, because you can already see how fat this is getting. So this is the next page, and I had a saying on here. I don't know what happened to it, but we'll have to find another one to go on there later. It must have fallen off, or the dog ate it, probably. More than likely. So anyway, this is going to go behind here like this. So I'll glue that down first. I've already pre-measured, cut all this stuff to save us time. And I'm not measuring anything because really, I don't think you need me to do that. I think you just want to cut things to fit the pages that you're working with. There's no set size. If you're using a travel journal, you'll just cut these things to fit your journal pages and not try to be exactly like what I'm doing. So this is going to glue down right here. And the next thing we'll do is take this paper. It looks like I forgot to ink it, so let me do that quick. When you ink the edges, it's not really to so much to make it look old. To me, it just defines the edges and makes your patterns show up better. That's why I do it. I didn't ink this one, but I guess it'll just have to be okay. So this I just folded from the corner down, and then I raised it back up and cut off the edge to decrease the bulk. And so the first thing I'll do is glue down this flap onto the pocket. And then this paper, I've cut it to fit the page, and then I fold it over the edge so it'll go over this edge. So I'll get that attached. And I just chose a contrasting paper with a pattern, but it's a more plain pattern to go with this. So these two patterns match each other, which makes a nice page. And then the solid in the background that matches this. And so this page will be glued down on this side and bottom to make the angle pocket. Now the dog got a hold of this, so he must have gotten my words that went on this page too. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this on, and then I'll see if I can find some words to go on there. So this is going to glue on right here like this. And this lace takes a little while to adhere. It's not cotton lace, it's some kind of synthetic fiber, and it takes it a minute to stick. And I'm going to mash it with my paper towel so I don't get it all over my fingers. have to come back later and put my little phrase on there, but I had something picked out to go right on here, and I'll have to add that later because it's gone. I don't know what happened to it. I guess the dog got it. This is a little item that I made a few videos back. I did a masterboard. If you want to look it up, you can search masterboard under my YouTube channel and find the video. But I did a masterboard first, 12 by 12. And then by a masterboard, I mean I did a collage. And then I cut it into journal card size and tag sizes, and then I came back and decorated them. And so this is one of those, and I'm going to use it in this pocket. It just says, "Be patient with yourself. Nothing in nature blooms all year." I think we have a tendency to push ourselves every day, and instead of relaxing in the quiet and reflecting and organizing our thoughts, we rush into the day and expect great, wonderful things from ourselves every minute, and it's just too much. So to me, that fits in with our peace and quiet section. And again, I have a saying, and I'll find something and put it on there. Okay, this is the last page before we do our Super Simples number 3, and I've got it all cut out, and I have to ink it, and then I'll go ahead and assemble it, and I'll do a little video on that. Or you can actually go to my Pink Monarch Prints YouTube page, and they have instructions on putting it together. Either way, it's fine with me. Okay, this next page, let's see. I wanted it to be a good journaling page, and what I have done is taken a piece of beautiful paper with butterflies on it, and it will have a saying on the front, and then this page will open out and be strictly for writing. So we have a little bit of decorating to do on there, and I'll show you that. But first I want to put this page in there. So I will put my glue on the back so that this page can fold out this way. Okay, so on this page I'm going to add these words. It doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful. And again, this is a saying that makes you realize that everything you do doesn't have to be perfect. Cut yourself some slack and give things your best, but do it in a relaxing way, in a calm and peaceful way, so that you enjoy your work. And don't expect perfection from yourself on every little thing. I'll scoot this over so I have room to glue it. I'm going to glue onto this page this pink paper. And I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. Let's see if I can do it. this. I just need to get that glued on there. So I'm going to glue it down. It's going to be kind of centered on the page as a writing space. Okay. I made it hard for myself. I should have done that before I glued it in, but I didn't. So we'll just have to try to work with it this way. If you're doing this, glue your booklet together before you actually glue it down on the page, and that'll make that easier. Anyway, we did it. And what I'm going to put on there is just a little piece of book page that I had laying over there in my stash of bits and pieces. That's where this came from too. I'll glue that up here in the corner. And then I thought Visions of a Tea Time would be a peace and quiet. So I cut out this little tea time, teapot, teacup, butterfly picture that I had. I think this came out of a book of fussy cut items that I ordered from somewhere. Anyway, there's your teapot. So this makes a nice page to write on. And then this page over here, I just took a ripped piece of paper. It may match, I'm not sure which pattern it matches, but it was already torn, so I just put it in there the way it was. I ripped off a little bit on the top, cut off the bottom, and then I used my rubber stamp that says, "This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." And I think that we can find peace and calm and quiet and joy if we focus on the blessings of the day. So that is my message for that page. Again, I really should have put the little pages together before I glued it into the book. So be sure, if you're trying to do something like this, that you do that. Anyway, that folds over like that. So what we did today was our section on peace and quiet. With our little flip out here for writing. Our pocket made from 2 pages in the journal. Our bicycle ride page. Our angle pocket with, you can put anything you want to in there. I just chose something that I had already made, and I may add something else in later. This is just a piece of lace, and I'm supposed to have words there, but I don't know where they went, so I'll have to figure that out later. And then this page here is meant to flip out for writing. I prepared myself for this video, but I kind of don't feel like I put it together as good as usual, but I didn't want to wait any longer to go ahead and do another video because it's been so long. And I know some of you are waiting to see what the next section is. So now you know my next section of simple things was peace and quiet. So I hope you'll come back and join me for the next video, which will be to put together the Super Simples #3 page by Pink Monarch Prints. And I may even add a couple of pages after that. Depends on how much time I have. It's raining today, which is a total blessing. I don't have to stand and water flowers, so I took the time to enjoy working on my journals. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and always remember every day's a gift. Look for the joy in each day and share it with everyone you meet along the way. So that's all for now. I'll see you soon.